Hi, so this school year, I transitioned from kindergarten to special education, and my district is called LRC, where we work in small groups. This is the room I received that is windowless, and I decided to transform it so it could have some light to make it a little less bleak and depressing for my special education students. So I got the idea from this blog post after Googling how to make a fake window. And this person once came out really good. I just wasn't willing to pay $150. So I tried to use what I had on hand, which were some canvases from Michaels. I had two of these 2-packs. I got them on a buy one, get one free. And I ended up using them to combine them to make a pane for a window. Here you can see that I just took the canvases off, and as you see, the wooden frame that's left behind naturally made a window pattern. So here I use E6000 to glue and attach them in the corners where they meet, and these Dollar Tree clamps to hold them. I'm not sure how long I waited for it to dry. I might have came back and did it the next day or maybe later that evening. But as you can see here, I painted them with just regular white acrylic paint. I didn't try too hard to make the paint job perfect. I just wanted them white-ish because I knew they would be covered by curtains. So I didn't put too much effort in it because nobody was going to see the frame. For my glass for the window, I bought two of these 24 by 36 poster frames and took the clear piece that was the covering for them to be my window glass. I end up just using my staple gun to attach those two poster frames to the back. And be careful where you place the staples. If you try to place them where I had, you'll have a better job than some other spots, because some spots where I tried to put it at, the little plastic sheet did end up cracking. But I didn't, again, just stapled in a different spot because, again, who's going to see it when it's up against the wall? Please excuse my raggediness throughout this video. I just had my 6th baby and postpartum was kicking my butt. The depression was so real, but this project was such a stress relief, and I found peace in creating this and getting ready to return to my classroom after my leave was up. So here are 2 stakes that I borrowed offside the road from a local politician in the Puyallup area who was running for something, sheriff, council, something. The measurements are 48 inches for each stake, and they were perfect to go along the bottoms for where I wanted this little lip to be the ledge where they hung off the wall. My first intention was to glue them, but then I realized this is going to be suspended on the wall around children, and I wanted it a little more secure, so I ended up screwing and drilling in some nails instead, just for safety reasons, because the last thing I want is for one of them to fall on a student and then it turned into a you should have never done it in the first place thing. This is how the first one came out, and I was so happy, loving it. It was perfect. I couldn't have planned a better outcome to say I was pulling this as I go. So after seeing this one, I decided to make a second one with the sheet of acrylic you see in the back that I bought when I was following the directions of the person from the blog post. That sheet is 30 by 36, but the frames I had, it kind of didn't fit. So I ended up using that one to make a second one. But here I'm testing out the first one with some grow lights I got off Amazon. But I wasn't liking the lighting. I felt like it wasn't bright enough. And later on, I realized what I did wrong, but it was too late. I went and grabbed another canvas from Michaels. This one is 30 by 40. And I got this one on a 70% off. So it only ended up being like $10.21. It's usually like $33.99. So I just used my tool, removed the staples, and as you can see from this angle, the back is already framed out like a window. So I did the same thing. I painted this one, and I pre-drilled holes for the acrylic because I did see that if you don't do that, it for sure will crack. And it didn't fit perfectly because, again, it was a 30 by 36 sheet of acrylic on a 30 by 40 canvas frame. So I end up just centering it as much as I could, and then left those other spaces as light air ventilation holes, I guess. The stakes were too long. I did have to go borrow two more offside the road and cut them down in order to fit this second pane. As you see me struggle, because again, I didn't expect this project to need all these tools, so I'm just making do with what I had as it came along. I'm doing some final little drilling of where I wanted the screws to be placed in this sheet, because this one was a little heavier. I did put it in a few more spots than I did on the other one when I just used the staple gun. I really want these windows to kind of enhance the ambiance I'm going for in my LRC classroom. I like my space at work to be calming, welcoming, and somewhere I want to be, especially because I'm spending 7, sometimes 8 hours, depending if other things happen, out of my day in that space. And the last thing I wanted to do is feel like a place I don't want to be, because if I definitely don't want to be in there, the kids not going to want to be in there either. And because my school, we have a lot of students with behaviors, I feel like in the past, special ed classrooms in general don't always seem welcoming. It always either looks like a place you go when you're behind or in trouble. So I feel like that would lead to the behaviors of special ed teachers feeling like the students don't respect their property and destroy the classroom. So my hopes is that if I make the room look like a place they want to be and set expectations from the beginning, that they won't destroy my stuff. So if you look right here, when I fix the camera, this is both the windows now. The one with the acrylic sheet, I left that plastic on thinking it'll diffuse the light, but it ended up not being enough. So right here, I tried to test that window out using a ring light I had, but I didn't like the lighting here. I tried it here with the grow lights and the ring light, and I didn't like it here either. So I went on YouTube and stumbled across somebody's video where they were making a fake skylight for their room, and they use like aluminum foil and LED strip lights. I'll link their video in the description bar if you want to go see it, but I also insert the clip from their video on YouTube where I got the idea to try to fix my light situation. And this is the video. So after watching the video, I remembered that I was supposed to add a piece of white fabric behind it to diffuse the light. I still hated it because you could see the LED lights. And so as I was about to take it down and cry, I realized that I needed some distance away from the wall. Notice the difference when I was pulling it off, that you can see how much brighter it was. So I had to figure out a way to have it come out from the wall. So I decided to use the brackets from the curtain rod to bring it out from the wall, and buy these double brackets to hang the curtains on side of it. And it ended up giving me the perfect distance to have them come out from the wall and diffuse their light a whole lot better. So here's the final look of how my classroom turned out with the windows. I absolutely love them. This project cost me about $186. It was almost as much as the other person. It was more than the first person, but again, it took a lot of trial and error. But I love how they came out, and I would definitely do it again. I hate that the camera's not showing the way the light actually looks, but it comes off like warm sunlight. It just keeps making it look bright and fluorescent. So I hope you liked it. I hope it helps you. And so far, everybody who walks in the room love it. They think it's real.